Britain's longest-serving monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, died yesterday at the age of 96. A statement from the Buckingham Palace said that the Queen died peacefully at her summer retreat, the Balmoral Castle in Scotland. The Queen's eldest son, Charles, will now be known as King Charles III, is the new monarch. He will be officially proclaimed king tomorrow. A reign spanning 7 decades, the late Queen Elizabeth was a symbol of constancy through years as Britain went through its shares of upheavals. From Winston Churchill to Liz Truss, 15 prime ministers served the UK during her reign. Here's a look back at the life and times of Britain's longest-serving monarch, Queen Elizabeth II.
For much of the world, she was simply the Queen. The longest-serving monarch in England's history, Queen Elizabeth's reign lasted more than 70 years. Born into the royal family in 1926, Elizabeth spent her entire life in the public eye. The pageantry of her 1947 wedding to Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten in Westminster Abbey was just a prelude to an even bigger event, her coronation as Queen at the age of 26, following the death of her father, King George VI. During her reign, the Queen visited dozens of nations and served as the head of Great Britain's military in times of strife. She had a daughter and 3 sons, but was troubled by the marital problems of her children, including the divorces of Prince Charles and Prince Andrew. While generally popular, the Queen was sometimes criticized as aloof, including her delayed address to console a grieving nation following the tragic death of Princess Diana.
And may we, each and every one of us, thank God for someone who made many, many people happy.
Good evening, Sir.
But Her Majesty's sense of humor was on display for the London Olympics in 2012. A short film seemed to have her parachuting alongside James Bond into the game's opening ceremonies. She was also witness to the wedding spectacles for her grandsons, Prince William with Kate Middleton, and later Prince Harry with Meghan Markle. But tensions associated with palace life led Harry and Meghan to relinquish their royal duties and move with son Archie to the U.S. Their interview with Oprah Winfrey detailing the turmoil left the Queen saddened, but she said they would always be much-loved family members. Mere days after that controversy, Her Royal Highness endured the passing of Prince Philip, her husband of 73 years. It left her without her beloved partner for the final portion of her reign. A platinum jubilee earlier this year marked the Queen's 70 years on the throne, although she missed a number of those events due to what was described as discomfort. Her passing closes a tenure that left an indelible mark on all of England, as well as the world. Mark Barker, NBC News.
70 years on the throne. Sanjay Suri reports from outside the Buckingham Palace, where people mourning the death of the Queen have been arriving in large numbers.
So the expression of grief is now being layered over by a show of pageantry, as expected for an occasion like this. The British do make a great choreographed event of any funeral, and this one more than any others earlier, and we had 2 huge funerals by way of the funeral for Margaret Thatcher, for the Queen Mother, Queen Elizabeth's mother, earlier for Princess Diana. But this is the first time in a long time that a monarch has passed away, and the ceremony will outdo anything we have seen before. It's begun on the very first day after the death. We had the 96-gun salute being sounded outside the palace and in parks and at venues across the whole country. 96, of course, to mark the 96 years of her life. King Charles will address the nation, and then there will be a service at St. Paul's seeking blessing for the new reign while mourning the passing of the old. Members of Parliament have gathered to express their condolences, each making a speech. Everyone who had anything to do with the Queen, any association, is now talking about it, sharing their stories, sharing their experiences. And of course, these have all been warm experiences, and the praise that is flowing is fulsome. Following this, we will have an announcement about the funeral. That also will be, to put it rather plainly, a grand event. The coffin will be brought to London from Balmoral and Edinburgh. Then on, it will be at Buckingham Palace, followed by a state viewing inside Westminster Hall within the Houses of Parliament. Then the funeral ceremony to take place eventually at Windsor Castle, which is really the private royal home of the family. But before that, we will have a service at Westminster Abbey, which will be attended by several heads of state. So there's a lot to watch out for before anyone can finally say goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II.
Sanjay Suri reporting from London.